as Indonesia and Pakistan mark the 76th anniversary of diplomatic relations, Mr. Ambassador, which new or expanded areas, such as the halal industry, economic or technological sectors, would Pakistan like to pursue with Indonesia?
Indonesia has the economic scale. Indonesia has the diplomatic credibility. But more importantly, Indonesian leadership has also the vision to take this organization forward. So we have no doubt that this organization will be further strengthened under Indonesian chairmanship.
What are Pakistan's expectations and aspirations regarding Indonesia's leadership of the D8 during 2026-2027, Mr. Ambassador?
Our two countries, our leadership has agreed to enter into a new era of economic partnership, and that would be comprehensive economic partnership agreement that we will conclude by next year. So that will not only include trade in goods, but trade in services also.
Hubungan Indonesia dan Pakistan mempunyai akar historis yang panjang dan erat. Bahkan terjalin sebelum kedua negara meraih kemerdekaan. Hubungan kedua negara tidak hanya terikat oleh identitas keagamaan, tetapi juga oleh sejarah panjang perjuangan kemerdekaan. Nah, bagaimana kemajuan kolaborasi Indonesia dan Pakistan di berbagai sektor dan tantangan masa kini? Halo pemirsa, Anda menyaksikan International Corner. Bersama saya, Gracia Simanjuntak. Pemirsa, pada episode kali ini telah hadir Duta Besar Pakistan untuk Indonesia, His Excellency Zahid Hafeez Chaudhri. Mr. Ambassador, welcome to Antara Heritage Center.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much for having me here. And let me, through your channel, also convey very best wishes to every Indonesian from the government and the people of Pakistan.
Thank you. How are you, Mr. Ambassador?
I am very good. Thank you so very much. How are you?
Very well. Okay, without further ado, let's get started.
Sure.
Pakistan and Indonesia have enjoyed diplomatic relations for 75 years. How do you assess the current state of bilateral relations? What are your hopes as our two countries enter their 76th year?
Thank you very much. But let me first say that Pakistan and Indonesia, we are not only two friendly nations, two friendly countries, but we are two brotherly people. And I am so delighted to share with you that relations between our two peoples existed before our two countries came into being. Indonesia declared independence in 1945. Pakistan became independent in 1947.
Yeah.
But several years prior to that, in 1942, our people, they left their families behind, they left their services, they left their properties to join their Indonesian brothers and sisters in their fight against the colonial occupation. So that is the sort of bonds, the relationship that we have between our two peoples. And I am also glad to share that in 1948, when Pakistan was only 1 year old, our pilots came to deliver humanitarian assistance when you were in your final push against the colonial occupation. So we have these historical relations, but we've been building upon them. And today we stand as two very strong partners, as brothers, and as important countries in the Muslim world.
Wow. Under President Prabowo Subianto's administration, Mr. Ambassador, Indonesia has introduced a Asta Cita as its strategic vision. Now, which areas of cooperation do you see as priorities to strengthen Indonesia-Pakistan relations?
We have very broad-based relations between Pakistan and Indonesia. And as I mentioned, we always enjoyed good relations between our two countries. But under the leadership of President Prabowo Subianto in Indonesia and Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif in Pakistan, what we are witnessing is a complete transformation of our friendly relations into a strategic partnership, I must say. And these are broad-based relations, and that covers all areas of cooperation, including the defense sector collaboration, including economy and trade, investment, education, health sector,
Yeah.
tourism, people-to-people contacts, agriculture sector, food security. So what you will be witnessing in coming months, years and days is an expanded cooperation between our two countries.
As Indonesia and Pakistan mark the 76th anniversary of diplomatic relations, Mr. Ambassador, which new or expanded areas, such as the halal industry, economic or technological sectors, would Pakistan like to pursue with Indonesia?
Indonesia is an important country, and we consider Indonesia to be an important partner of Pakistan. We already have a high level of bilateral trade, but we believe that we need to expand it further, and not only trade in goods, but trade in services also. So our two countries, our leadership has agreed to enter into a new era of economic partnership, and that would be comprehensive economic partnership agreement that we will conclude by next year. So that will not only include trade in goods, but trade in services also. So we believe that our two countries, they have huge potential to work together in terms of trade. But investment is again another very important area.
Right.
We are in talks with the Indonesian Sovereign Wealth Fund, then Antara, and we have already had advanced discussions on several areas where we can work together, including vaccine manufacturing in Pakistan.
On that topic, Mr. Ambassador, could you elaborate on the significance of defense and security cooperation in the Indonesia-Pakistan partnership?
No, thank you very much. Before we talk about that, as you mentioned, the halal sector,
Yeah.
again, Pakistan and Indonesia, we are two of the largest Muslim majority countries. Both Pakistan and Indonesia, we are more than 1/4 of entire world's Muslim population. So we can actually become the trend setters when it comes to halal sector, not only in terms of halal food, but halal services also, because that is again a very important area. Islamic finance today is more than $4 trillion. And in terms of halal sector collaboration, Pakistan and Indonesia, we are working towards aligning our halal certification standards. We are trying to create linkages in our halal food supply chains, and we are also working on several joint ventures in terms of halal food. So we believe that both Pakistan and Indonesia, we can actually become not only the partners, but the trend setters when it comes to halal sector.
Industry.
So now coming back to the defense sector,
Right.
we have very strong relationship between our two countries. The level of political trust is very high, and now this political trust is being translated into other sectors, including the defense sector. Pakistan and Indonesia, we are in advanced talks for the supply of advanced weapon systems from Pakistan to Indonesia. We will be providing advanced trainings to Indonesian armed forces officers. Your large group of Indonesian commandos, they just returned from Pakistan after their specialized training. More Indonesian armed forces officers, your pilots, your navy, your army officers will be getting their training in Pakistan. So every area of defense sector collaboration is there between our two countries.
Yeah, very significant, yeah. Lastly, for this segment, Mr. Ambassador, what is your outlook on the future direction of the Indonesia-Pakistan relations amid evolving global and regional dynamics?
As I mentioned earlier, Pakistan and Indonesia, we do not only share a common faith, but we have shared values also. Both Pakistan and Indonesia, we stand for moderation, we stand for development and democracy, and we stand for peace. Both our countries, in terms of international peace, we are the largest contributors of peacekeepers when it comes to the United Nations peacekeeping operations. And then we also work for peace, not only for our two countries, but for regional peace as well as international peace. Both our countries, we work very closely at the international fora, including the United Nations, including the OIC, of which both Indonesia and Pakistan are the founding members, and other groups like D8 or ASEAN. So we shared our values and we have the common aspiration for peace and development.
Thank you for the engaging conversation, Mr. Ambassador, but we'll see you back in the second segment.
Thank you very much.
Pemirsa, kami akan kembali pada segmen kedua. A program that brings the world to your screen through insightful dialogues, exploring various issues with international figures. How do you view this?
It gives more visibility to Indonesia in France.
Revealing various facts regarding bilateral, regional, and multilateral cooperation in numerous sectors. Welcome back, Mr. Ambassador, to our second segment.
I'm Grazia Simanjuntak, the producer and host.
And I'm your host, Arya Sindiara. Join us on International Corner.
Obrolan seputar isu paling hangat jangan dengar dari sembarang sumber.
Di sini, podcast yang mengundang narasumber pakar dan ahli terpercaya. Podcast Antara on the record, podcast Antara close up.
Simak ya, hanya di
antaranews.com/video
dan YouTube Antara TV Indonesia.
Halo pecinta sepak bola Indonesia. Tahu nggak, di 1952 ada Tony Pogasni, warga negara Yugoslavia yang harus lewati lobi politik dulu untuk latih timnas Indonesia. Nah, itu baru satu fakta. Masih banyak lagi hal seru dan fakta menarik tentang sejarah dan sosok-sosok penting sepak bola di tanah air. Saksikan hanya di Sport Antara.
Pemirsa, Anda kembali menyaksikan International Corner. Bersama Duta Besar Pakistan untuk Indonesia, His Excellency Zahid Hafeez Chaudhri. Mr. Ambassador, now let us talk about regional and global issues. How has Pakistan responded to the growing global trend toward unilateral trade barriers and tariffs? And how can the D8 collectively mitigate their impact on the developing economies?
So let me share with you our vision for regional and global peace. Pakistan, we believe that it is very important to respect the sovereignty of all the countries. We also believe that international justice is very important, and we also believe that countries need to work together and to find negotiated solutions to difficult issues.
Yeah.
Diplomatic negotiations are very important. And Pakistan, on its part, has been playing this role, not only in our region, but also on all important international issues. If we look at the current environment in our region, Pakistan has offered its diplomatic efforts to find a solution to the crisis in the Middle East, the conflict between US, Israel, and Iran. And we believe that through dialogue, through negotiations, we can find solutions to difficult issues.
On that topic, regarding Palestine, what role does Pakistan see for itself in supporting peace efforts, including a two-state solutions? And how can the Board of Peace contribute to this process, Mr. Ambassador?
Okay, thank you very much. We consider Palestine issue to be a very important issue. We believe that only way forward is a two-state solution. We also believe that Palestinian state needs to have contiguous borders and pre-1967 borders. So that is very important. We believe that any solution that is not just will not be sustainable, will not be long lasting. So Pakistan has had a consistent position not only at international fora, but also in terms of our bilateral relations with the friendly countries. We've always promoted the cause of Palestine and finding a just solution to the Palestine issue. And as for the Board of Peace, Pakistan, like Indonesia, we joined the Board of Peace with the hope that it will contribute to peace in the region, and that it will help secure the rights of the Palestinian people. Their just rights will be ensured through this platform, and that remains our hope.
Walk me through this, Ambassador Chaudhri. As developing countries, what coordinated actions can D8 member states take to demonstrate solidarity and provide meaningful support to the Palestinian cause?
So let me first talk a little bit about D8. It is an important forum that has 9 important Muslim majority countries. It has a combined population of over 1.2 billion people. It has a combined GDP of around $5 trillion. So it's an important organization. We believe that it has a role to play to enhance cooperation amongst these countries. But before I talk about the political side, I must say development is very important for this organization. So it is important that every effort is made to enhance economic and trade cooperation between and among these countries. We need to enhance intra-D8 trade. As I mentioned, we have a combined GDP of around $5 trillion, but intra-D8 trade remains only around $156 billion. So under Indonesia's chairmanship of the organization, we also see an opportunity to transform this important organization. And the forthcoming D8 summit in Indonesia, we believe, will actually deliver actions rather than only the declarations. And the areas of cooperation that have been identified include, for example, blue economy, which is very important for all these countries. Halal industry is very important for all these countries. Green transition, renewable energy is very important for all these countries. Enhanced business to business linkages are very important. Integrated supply chains are very important for this. So for all these members and for the Muslim countries' economies also, we believe that we do not only need to grow, but we need to integrate. We do not only need to have more trade, but we need to have better trade. And we do not only need to work to attract capital, but we also need to work to deploy that capital strategically. So I think D8 has a very important role to play in that regard.
Now, how does Pakistan view the importance of Asian partnership, including with Indonesia, of course, and in supporting sustainable development goals and global stability?
Again, as I mentioned earlier, Indonesia is a very important country, being the 5th most populous country, 280 million plus people, and young population like Indonesia and Pakistan. We both have very young population. But we also have other common issues. For example, climate change is a very important issue for both Indonesia and Pakistan. Pakistan is amongst those countries which are most vulnerable to climate change. So in terms of sustainable development goals, climate is important, green energy transition is very important, poverty alleviation is very important, removal of the barriers to trade are very important, development is very important, gender equality is very important. So all these issues are very important for both Indonesia and Pakistan, and I see a lot of common ground for both Indonesia and Pakistan to work together because we are both developing countries. So I also believe that South-South cooperation is very important when it comes to the development of countries like Indonesia and Pakistan. And that is why we have initiated several new programs of cooperation in the health sector between Pakistan and Indonesia, in the education sector between Pakistan and Indonesia, in the trade and investment sector between Pakistan and Indonesia. We believe that cooperation between our two countries is very important for our people.
Lastly, Mr. Ambassador, which areas of cooperation does Pakistan consider most strategic with Indonesia to address geopolitical and economic challenges?
So, as I mentioned, first is economic and trade cooperation. We have already agreed to sign a comprehensive economic partnership agreement between Pakistan and Indonesia, and that agreement will be concluded by next year. Negotiations are already underway. In terms of education sector collaboration, we have already agreed to recognize each other's qualifications, and we will be seeing more Pakistani students coming to Indonesia and more Indonesian students going to Pakistan and getting their education, especially in fields like medical education, engineering, computing, advanced computing. And then health sector collaboration is again very important. We will see more Indonesian students getting their medical education in Pakistan. We have more than 100 medical schools in Pakistan producing top quality, over 20,000 top quality physicians and surgeons every year. So we will also see more Pakistani doctors coming to Indonesia and teaching the Indonesian students in Indonesian medical schools and colleges. We are also talking to Indonesia in terms of a joint venture for vaccine production in Pakistan. And then we are talking about collaboration in areas like tourism, in culture. But one of the most important area, I must say, is the defense sector collaboration. As I mentioned earlier, we are talking to each other in terms of supplying advanced weapon systems to Indonesia and then providing training to Indonesian armed forces officers. There are already some programs underway.
All right, Mr. Ambassador, we will return with further discussions regarding D8 cooperation and developing countries in solidarity. Pemirsa, kami akan kembali di segmen terakhir.
Jadilah yang lebih dulu dalam menerima informasi yang tengah menjadi perbincangan di jagat publik.
Sebelumnya, Mary Jane sudah mengajukan gerasi, namun ditolak.
Kami sajikan dengan narasi dan infografis yang mudah dicerna oleh halayak. Desain mengotak dengan streamline-nya, membuatnya tampak gahar sekaligus elegan.
Saksikan hanya di Perantara, tayang setiap hari Minggu di portal antaranews.com.
Dan setiap hari Senin di kanal YouTube Antara TV Indonesia.
Pastikan tidak ketinggalan setiap episodenya.
A program that brings the world to your screen through insightful dialogues, exploring various issues with international figures. How do you view this?
It gives more visibility to Indonesia in France.
Revealing various facts regarding bilateral, regional, and multilateral cooperation in numerous sectors. Welcome back, Mr. Ambassador, to our second segment.
I'm Grazia Simanjuntak, the producer and host.
And I'm your host, Arya Sindiara. Join us on International Corner.
Obrolan seputar isu paling hangat, jangan dengar dari sembarang sumber.
Di sini, podcast yang mengundang narasumber pakar dan ahli terpercaya.
Podcast Antara on the record, podcast Antara close up.
Simak ya, hanya di
antaranews.com/video
dan YouTube Antara TV Indonesia.
Pemirsa, Anda kembali menyaksikan International Corner bersama Duta Besar Pakistan untuk Indonesia, His Excellency Zahid Hafeez Chaudhri. Mr. Ambassador, Indonesia is hosting the D8 Summit under the theme Navigating Global Shift, Strengthening Equality, Solidarity and Cooperation for Shared Prosperity. Now, how relevant is this theme in addressing current global challenges, you think?
So, D8, as I earlier mentioned, is an important organization, and we see tremendous opportunity for the rejuvenation of this important organization under Indonesia's chairmanship. Another common ground between Pakistan and Indonesia is, Indonesia assumed the chairmanship of this organization, a Pakistani diplomat became the Secretary General of D8. So we look forward to working closely for the advancement of our common objective of strengthening this organization. D8 is an important platform for cooperation. As I mentioned, more than 1.2 billion people and then over $5 trillion economy. So we need to integrate our economies better. And in all sectors, we believe that Pakistan and Indonesia both can play an important role. Under Indonesia's chairmanship of this organization, we believe that there will be a significant movement towards deliverables. The areas of cooperation that have already been identified include blue economy, it includes green transition, it includes removal of barriers to trade, it includes integrating our economies and creating better linkages. Improving people-to-people contacts are very, very important. So we believe that right now there is an opportunity for all members, particularly Pakistan and Indonesia, to further strengthen this organization.
What are Pakistan's expectations and aspirations regarding Indonesia's leadership of the D8 during 2026-2027, Mr. Ambassador?
We have every hope that this organization will be strengthened. We have every hope that intra-D8 cooperation, particularly in trade, will be enhanced, and in particular the important areas like blue economy, halal industry is very important. We believe that in all these areas cooperation will be enhanced under Indonesia's chairmanship of D8. But we also believe that under Indonesia's chairmanship, this organization and through this summit, we will move beyond declarations and towards deliverables. We believe that we need to come up with measurable trade targets among the D8 countries. We believe that we need to come up with a plan of action to better integrate the economies of our member countries. And we have every hope that Indonesia, since Indonesia has the economic scale, Indonesia has the diplomatic credibility, but more importantly, Indonesian leadership has also the vision to take this organization forward. So we have no doubt that this organization will be further strengthened under Indonesian chairmanship.
Moving on to the next question. Could you outline Pakistan's key priorities within the D8 this year, particularly in the economic sector, including efforts to enhance trade, investment, and private sector engagement?
Again, I must say that we hope that within the coming years, particularly under Indonesia's chairmanship of this organization, we'll see enhanced intra-D8 trade. The total combined GDP of D8 countries is around $5 trillion, but the current level of intra-D8 trade is around $156 billion. So we need to enhance that.
Right.
We also need to cooperate within the halal sector, and not only halal goods but halal services also. Finance, for example, Islamic finance is very important. Over $4 trillion worth of Islamic finance globally. Pakistan and Indonesia being the two largest Muslim majority countries, we can become actually the trend setters in the halal industry, and within D8 we can play an important role. And then we also need to create better business to business linkages among the D8 member countries. So the D8 member countries, they not only need to work closely within D8 as an organization, but within other organizations, including the United Nations, including the OIC, ASEAN, or wherever they find an opportunity to collaborate. I think this is an important platform, and it needs to be fully or optimally utilized for the betterment of our people.
So now, how do you see the prospects for trade and investment cooperation among D8 members, including the role of PTA, preferential trade agreement, amid a global economic slowdown?
As I mentioned earlier, the D8 countries, I think they have an opportunity to think about not only growing, but about integrating. They have an opportunity to not only increase their trade, but also opportunities to trade better. And there is also an opportunity to think in terms of not only attracting capital, but also deploying that capital strategically. So I think D8 is an excellent platform to achieve all these objectives within the D8 member countries.
Lastly, for our talks today, Mr. Ambassador, in the face of rising geopolitical tensions and economic uncertainty, how does Pakistan perceive the role of the D8 as a collective voice for developing countries?
I think this organization can actually enhance the resilience of these economies. I think this organization can help build partnerships in these difficult times. And I think this organization can also help bring in the necessary reforms for the trade order. So all the challenges, I think, are important, but this organization can certainly help mitigate those challenges and then create new opportunities for the member countries and also for the international trade.
All right, Ambassador Chaudhri, thank you so much for speaking to us today. Very insightful views, Mr. Ambassador.
Thank you very much. It's been excellent being with you.
Thank you. Demikian pemirsa perbincangan International Corner dengan Duta Besar Pakistan untuk Indonesia, His Excellency Zahid Hafeez Chaudhri. Terima kasih telah menyaksikan International Corner. Sampai jumpa di episode berikutnya.